Did you hear about the case of two parents accused of abusing their 13 children? It's a story that shocked the world in early 2018. The parents were ultimately convicted, but what happened to the children after the terrible discovery? Were they placed into better care, or did the horror continue even outside the house and without their parents? Welcome to Nightmare Houses. David Turpin was born in West Virginia in October 1961. He was intelligent and was in the chess club in high school. He graduated from Virginia Tech as a computer engineer. When he was 23 years old, he married the 16-year-old Louise Robinette. It's unclear exactly when or how they met, but they both attended the Princeton High School in Princeton, West Virginia, where Louise was in 10th grade at the time of their marriage. Things seemed to be going well for the couple for the first few years. In the late 1980s, David was offered a job at Lockheed Martin and earned over a six-figure salary. They welcomed their first child in 1988. At some point, David and Louise became Pentecostal Christians and wanted to have as many children as God allowed. They went on to have 13 children in total, 10 girls and 3 boys, their last child being born in 2015. The couple moved to Fort Worth, Texas. There they would seem to be the perfect family in those early years. However, financial issues for the couple started early. In 1990, Louise was outspending her husband's paycheck, raking up huge credit card debts. Nonetheless, the couple enjoyed spending lavishly on trips to Disney, nice flights, fancy meals, and gambling at casinos. They also apparently treated family and friends with lavish dinners and trips. By February 1992, the couple had filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, but the spending seemed to continue. In 1999, the family moved from Fort Worth to the neighboring city of Rio Vista. When the family moved, the abuse escalated, and the children were often left to fend for themselves and frequently went hungry. In 2007, the Turpin parents moved 10 of their children into an isolated trailer onto the property. At this time, David and Louise took the 2 youngest to travel and left the rest of the children to fend for themselves, bringing them groceries every week, but not enough to feed the whole family. After the family left Rio Vista in 2010, neighbors found feces and bed with ropes tied to them inside the house, dead cats, and piles of garbage. The couple would file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy again in August 2011. But the abuse only escalated. It included the children being thrown around, pulled by the hair, and only allowed to bathe once per year. In 2014, the Turpins moved to Paris, California. They were likely the first family to live in the 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2,388 square foot home that was built in 2013 in the suburban neighborhood. It's a 1-story house with Spanish-style roof tiles, light brown or a tan stucco, dark brown shutters, and decorative stone trim at the base. The house is in a small residential development with many similar-looking homes built within that same time frame of 2013 to 2014. David and Louise purchased the home in August 2014 for $351,000 with a 2% down payment and a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage and moved the family in right away. Neighbors rarely saw the children, and they were silent unless spoken to. They would skip rather than walk, and they appeared malnourished and pale. One of Louise's sisters later said that David and Louise refused to let her see the children, and another sister she had been concerned about the children's weight. Louise's family, her sister significantly, grew increasingly concerned with the children's appearances. Still, Louise's aunt said the family pictures posted on Facebook had made her think they were one big happy family. These photos included an occasional trip to Disneyland and Las Vegas. David and Louise planned to move the family to Oklahoma when they were arrested. Jordan, their 17-year-old daughter, overheard her parents speaking about the move and decided it was time to call the police. By 2018, the Turpin children had planned their escape from their parents for more than 2 years. Finally, on January 14, 2018, 2 girls left the house through a window. The younger girl, age 13 at the time, became frightened and turned back, but Jordan, the 17-year-old, got several houses away and called a 911 on a deactivated cell phone she had brought with her.
This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
I just ran away from home.
Do you know what street you're on?
No. I just ran away from home because I live in a family of 15, okay? Can you hear me? And we have abusing parents. Did you hear that?
Okay, how did they abuse you?
Okay. They hit us, they throw us across the room. They pull our hair, they yank out our hair. I have my 2 little sisters right now are chained up.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 17.
What's your name?
Turpin.
In the 911 call, she told the dispatcher that she and her siblings were being abused by their parents and that the smell in the house was so bad that sometimes she could barely breathe. When the police first arrived, Jordan showed him photos of the conditions inside the house. Next, deputies of the Riverside County Sheriff's Department raided the house, stating they were there for a welfare check. It took Louise and David several moments before they answered the door. They seemed perplexed, annoyed, and confused when the police showed up. Inside, the authorities encountered a house reeking of human excrement, decaying garbage, dead pets, and moldy food, with every surface covered in trash. Later, they found the other 12 children. One was shackled to a bed for weeks, and it appeared that 2 others had been shackled until just before the officers arrived. The children were found with bruises on their arms, appearing frail and caked with dirt. The children were also so malnourished that deputies thought they were all under the age of 18, when in fact 7 were over 18. The Turpin siblings ranged in age from 2 to 29 when they were rescued from their parents' home. Following the discovery, all of the children spent several weeks in the hospital, after which 6 of the minors were placed into 2 separate foster homes. Doctors treated various issues, including heart damage due to lack of nutrients, cognitive impairments, and neuropathy. David defaulted on the house in the summer of 2018 while he and Louise were under investigation. A creditor foreclosed on it in November 2018, and it sold about 15% below the market value. Again, the house was sold at auction under market value to a private owner in March 2019. The house was renovated and cleaned and currently serves as a rental unit. The Turpins were charged with 12 counts of torture, 12 counts of false imprisonment, 7 counts of abuse of a dependent adult, and 6 counts of abuse of a child. David received an additional charge of a lewd act on a child under 14. Instead of posted bail, they were held, which media reported was set at $9 million for Louise Turpin and $12 million for David Turpin. David was later charged with perjury concerning affidavits he filed with the California Department of Education over the years. He asserted that his children were being educated in a private school or homeschooled. Louise's attorney requested Louise be placed in a pretrial diversion program for mental health treatment due to a diagnosis of histrionic personality disorder. The judge denied the request because Turpin posed a risk to the public. On February 22, 2019, David and Louise each changed their not guilty pleas to guilty to 1 count of torture, 3 counts of willful child cruelty, 4 counts of false imprisonment, and 6 counts of cruelty to an adult dependent. Both were sentenced to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after 25 years. However, due to the severity of the crime, it is believed neither parent will ever get out. David was initially sent to the Mule Creek State Prison before being sent to Corcoran's California State Prison. Louise currently serves at Central California Women's Facility. In unimaginable horror, The nightmare for the children after the removal from their parents continued. 5 of the younger children were housed in foster care with a family where reported abuse took place. In October 2019, they were adopted by that family while the abuse was still occurring. The foster family was arrested and charged with abusing multiple children in their care, including at least 1 Turpin child. In early 2020, the Riverside County Deputy District Attorney said some of the children live independently, live in their own apartments, have jobs, and go to school. However, an investigation for the ABC News Magazine 2020, which chronicled the case in November 2021, reported that some of the Turpin children are now being neglected by Riverside County Social Services, some are homeless, and none may use the hundreds of thousands of dollars donated to them. The money had been placed in a trust controlled by a court-appointed public guardian. One of the Turpins stated he could not access funds and denied the purchase of a bicycle for basic transportation. During an interview with Diane Sawyer for the 2020 special, Jordan Turpin stated that she was released without warning from a foster home with no life skills, no plans for housing, or knowledge of how to get food and health care. According to the report, Riverside County has hired a private law firm to investigate the allegations of abuse by social services. In April 2022, reports came out that a Paris foster care couple and their adult daughter, accused of abusing 2 Turpin girls, pleaded not guilty to felony charges. They were arrested and charged in November with nearly a dozen offenses, including child cruelty and false imprisonment and witness intimidation. The husband was charged with multiple counts of lewd acts on a child under 14 years old. The trio was arraigned before Riverside County Superior Court Judge Sean Crandall, who scheduled a felony settlement conference for June 6, 2020 at the Riverside Hall of Justice. The husband is currently free on a $200,000 bond, while the other 2 are currently free on $50,000 bail. The alleged offenses occurred between April 2018 and March 2021, and the case is still ongoing. David and Louise were extremely young when they married. Louise was practically a child herself as a sophomore in high school when she wed. Their obsession with hoarding toys and Disney in life indicated they never matured. They had money due to David's success as a computer engineer, but they were irresponsible people, irresponsible with finances and, of course, with their own children, whom they abused and tortured for so long. David and Louise may never see each other in person again, and the family is now scattered. Their bad and selfish behavior in life landed them where they belong, thanks to one of their children who knew they all deserved a better life. The Turpin children suffered at the hands of the people who are supposed to love and care for them the most and teach them how to live and survive in the world, their own parents. They were failed again by the adults and state officials assigned to their case, as well as others entrusted to their care. However, there is a silver lining for the Turpin children. They are smart, capable, resilient, and strong despite the cruelty they've experienced. I hope they find happiness, love, and success in this world, far away from suffering. Thank you for listening to Nightmare Houses. For more information, including photos and references, please visit nightmarehouses.com. Until next time, goodbye.